This is the story of the Great Influenza, the deadliest plague in history. It's the story about the 5 million people infected and the 20 to 50 million victims that were killed.
The number of cases soaring just today. 40 to 80% of people will ultimately become infected.
Influenza viruses did not originate in humans. Their natural home is in birds.
The new coronavirus came from bats.
In the spring of 1918, death was no stranger to the world. With the First World War coming to an end, the idea of death and tragedy still hung in the air.
I'm speaking to you at what I know is an increasingly challenging time.
No one really knows where it started, though many theories point to the United States, France, China,
Has identified the cause of the mysterious pneumonia outbreak in Wuhan City.
and Britain. The first known case of the Great Influenza was recorded at Fort Riley, Kansas. There, a few soldiers developed flu-like symptoms, including. But the influenza is not simply a bad cold. It attacks the respiratory system, and this is why most cases at the beginning were mistaken as pneumonia
outbreak
or meningitis. Suddenly, the disease disappeared. By mid-March, the schools reopened with healthy children, men and women returned to work, and the war regained its hold on people's thoughts. However, the virus had not truly disappeared. It had only gone underground, like a forest fire left burning in the roots, swarming and mutating, adapting, honing itself, watching and waiting to burst into flame. The first spring wave killed few, but the second wave would be lethal.
A massive second wave.
Effective immediately, Ontario is declaring a state of emergency. I'm issuing a stay-at-home order effective Thursday at 12:01 a.m.
You must stay at home.
Stay home.
Self-isolate.
Stay home. We stay à la maison.
So it's vital to slow the spread of the disease. We are all still living in an emergency. COVID-19 is here and is going to keep being here. We are not out of the woods.
Suddenly, more cases started to arise. It was believed that soldiers would get the illness and spread it to the other nations when they traveled to other military camps.
Number of coronavirus cases soars above 3,000.
The influenza killed. Soon dozens of patients, the strongest, the healthiest, the most robust people in the country, were being struck down as suddenly as if they had been shot. Hospitals became overloaded and medical staff overwhelmed by the rapidly increasing number of cases.
No health service in the world could possibly cope. Healthcare workers are sounding the alarm.
Hospitals are overwhelmed. We have 7 hospitals that are at maximum capacity right now.
Most health workers were sent overseas and placed in the war effort, leaving young and inexperienced individuals to tend to the sick citizens. Safety measures were put in place to slow the spread of the virus. Public gatherings were banned. Schools and businesses were shut down.
Shut down our entire distribution center in San Francisco in about 12 hours.
Illinois and Ohio closing all bars and restaurants beginning tonight.
It is clear that we cannot open schools at this time.
The usage of gauze masks were imposed.
Mandatory face mask bylaws.
Mandated mask wearing in Greater Sydney.
Physical barriers hung between beds, and quarantines were put in place.
Ontario will implement sweeping measures that will put that province into a lockdown for almost a month.
And more than 40,000 residents in Teaneck, New Jersey, ordered to self-quarantine.
New travel restrictions take effect as of midnight tonight. Anyone flying into Canada must quarantine for up to 3 days in a hotel on a designated list.
Canadians need to continue to be vigilant. Canadians need to continue to be careful, to wear a mask, to wash their hands, to keep social distancing, to avoid large gatherings. These are the things we need to do to keep COVID-19 under control.
This was a society fighting a war against nature. The city was frozen with fear, frozen quite literally into stillness. The life of the city had almost stopped. But there is one question. Why?
Good evening and thank you for joining us. Global News has learned Ontario will implement sweeping measures that will put that province into a lockdown for almost a
Fast-breaking
month.
developments in the
And here's why.
coronavirus emergency
Today,
in the
Ontario
U.S.
reported
and
more
around
than
the world.
2,300
The number
new
of cases
infections
soaring
and
just today.
25 more deaths.
The question why is too deep for science, though it can be thought that nature answers only when she is questioned. Biology is chaos. Biological systems are the product not of logic but of evolution, an inelegant process. Life does not choose the logically best design to meet a new situation. It adapts what already exists. What should I do, I asked. No need to panic or alarm, they told us. Don't be scared, they told us. When will it end?
Hey Siri, play music.
Hello.
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 Hi.
So, Katie, what's new and wonderful?
Nothing.
Is that apple juice?
Mm-hmm. You're brewing tea. I brewed myself some apple juice. I'm glad we're having our favorite drinks.
How's life?
It's all right. Pretty good.
Yeah, I think he seems okay. I don't know. He hasn't said that. We FaceTimed him for a bit on Friday, but he didn't really say that much. He said he was fine.
Oh, good. Good.
I've been alone with my own thoughts for a very long time. So I did what any sane person does. And I taught myself how to make creme brulee.
Ay, ay, ay.
Oh, wait, we can't hear you. Your audio's gone. Now? Yeah.
Are you getting experience running Zoom meetings? Zoom is really complicated. They made so many features that it just, I don't want to think about it. I think you're going to have to show me a few pointers after we get vaccinated.
They know everything. For them, it's like
intuitive.
normal.
Yeah.
And for me, I have to remember press this, press that, don't do this, don't do that. Too much thinking.
Wait, can I? We had that happen. I'm muted. Testing.
Well, anyway, is it cold outside? Anybody went out?
But I miss that.
I miss our the time we would go in early and just sit there and goof around.
Yeah. Or we'd like have to run back to the read room because we forgot our stand or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, or we just like go run up to the caf and sit there for a bit.
I miss the sketchy elevator where we would turn off the lights at each other.
Oh yeah, oh my god. that was fun. I like
My brain just died. Hold on 1 second, let me rein it back. Rein it back.
You know what those people were before the pandemic? Losers who didn't go outside anyway.
We waited a year so we can wait another few minutes.
I'm hiding in my kitchen pantry for the sake of the country.
You'll be fine.
You're going to be fine.
Why are you so fatalistic? I plan to be around for a while.
I am not saying tomorrow or next year or I wish I...
That's what happens when you're locked down. You begin to think about the end.
I want to dance at Katie's wedding, okay? So whenever that is.
That's an instruction.
5 years, 10 years.
We're going to be signing off in less than a minute. So I thought I'd say goodbye and hope have a
Be
good
well.
week.
Be good.